You've got to hear this story. What happens when a massive high-stakes museum heist crashes headfirst into a totally unexpected, genius marketing move? You get one of the wildest crime stories of the year. Let's get into it.
So it all kicked off last week with this number right here, $100 million. That's the staggering value of the jewels snatched from one of the most famous, most protected museums on the planet, the Louvre in Paris.
And here's the part that'll blow your mind. The thieves were in and out in less time than it takes to brew a pot of coffee. 8 minutes. The speed, the precision, it was just unbelievable. So how on earth did they do it?
Okay, so let's set the scene. This wasn't some smash and grab. No, this was a carefully planned operation, targeting a truly priceless collection.
The thieves hit the Louvre's famous Apollo Gallery, and they did it on a Sunday morning, of all times, making off with a fortune in jewels. I mean, we're talking about the Louvre here. A security breach like this is just shocking.
Now let's really dig into that insane timeline and what happened right after, as the police were just scrambling to figure out what in the world just went down.
Just look at how fast this all happened. Police say they rolled up at 9:30 a.m., and by 9:38 a.m., poof, they were gone. Vanished. That just shows you how much planning went into this. They knew exactly what they were doing and didn't waste a single second.
So, as you'd expect, investigators are now sorting through a mountain of evidence. We're talking up to 150 different pieces, DNA, fingerprints, the whole shebang. They've traced the thieves' movements using a web of cameras, but so far, nothing. No major breakthroughs have been announced.
So with investigators hitting a wall, you'd probably think the big break is going to come from some tiny clue, right? A fingerprint, maybe a stray fiber. But the thing that cracked this story wide open wasn't small at all. Actually, it was hiding in plain sight.
Yeah, forget everything you think you know from crime shows. The piece of evidence that blew this case into the stratosphere wasn't a getaway car or a dropped glove. It was something, well, it was something way more industrial.
It was this. A German-made construction lift. I know, right? This machine became the unexpected breakout star of the entire investigation. The robbers used it to just bypass security and pop right into a second-story window of the Louvre.
To be specific, it's called an inclined hoist. And get this, the man who actually manufactures them, Alexander Bacher, first saw his company's machine being used in the robbery while he was just watching the news with his wife. She's the one who spotted it and asked, "Hey, could that be one of ours?" And this, my friends, is where our story takes a hard left turn from a crime drama into a masterclass on opportunistic marketing. See, faced with their product being the centerpiece of a major crime, the Bokers didn't freak out. They saw an opening, a once-in-a-lifetime opening. So, according to Booker, his wife Julia was the one who came up with the idea for an ad. He was a little hesitant, saying he hoped people would appreciate their German sense of humor, which he kind of joked they're not exactly famous for.
So what did they do? They just leaned right into the absurdity of it all. They grabbed an actual photo of their lift from the news coverage of the heist and slapped it on social media with this absolutely perfect tagline, "When you're in a hurry." It's bold, it's cheeky, and honestly, it's brilliant.
So, did it work? Oh boy, did it work. This chart says it all. Their normal posts usually get a few thousand views. This ad, it went nuclear. It racked up millions of views and turned their company into a viral sensation, like overnight.
Oh, and just when you think this story can't get any weirder, it turns out the list itself was stolen. Prosecutors say it was taken from a town about 20 miles outside Paris, right before the heist. So the thieves didn't even buy the product they ended up making famous. You just can't make this stuff up.
All right, so let's jump back to the serious side of this for a second and look at the fallout, the official response, and where the investigation stands now.
So, while the internet was having a good laugh, the authorities were, let's just say, not amused. The Louvre immediately announced new, tougher security measures. The rest of the jewels were escorted by police to a massive vault 88 feet underground at the Bank of France. And as for the thieves, the $100 million investigation is still very much active.
And all of this leaves you with this fascinating question that really sits at the intersection of crime and modern culture. Was this a stroke of marketing genius, a way to cleverly spin a negative into a huge win? Or was it just an opportunistic move that made light of a really serious crime? Now that's a debate for our times.